I can smell all of the smoke, all that love and positivity, that shit is a joke. I should dead them all, my heart ski down slopes. When you did piggyback, everybody wanna see you broke, bro. Me and snakes don't lip lock. I don't think the feet look good on me like flip-flops. I know if I spit it, it belongs in this Ziploc. They know I'ma kill them, all they hearing is tick-tock. Your time is up. Where there's fire, you see the smoke, yeah. I know liars, I seen them fold, yeah. I'm so tired from all these souls, it's done been a good year. My tires don't leave the road, yeah. Are they serious? I seen liars that testified under oath, I hear. Rappers not living out what they wrote, my peers. Ought to be studying, taking notes, how you hate me to the core.
All right, let me talk to you real quick about Rexius Nutrition in Ralston. Rexius carries an awesome line of pre-workout from brands like Alpha Lion, Bucked Up, 5150, Insane Labs, and several other brands. They also have a great selection of protein powder, including my personal favorite, the All Max Hexapro cookies and cream flavored. Can't go wrong with that. They also carry the very popular brand Axon Sledge protein powders, branched chain amino acids, which are crucial to stay hydrated, and pre-workout. They also carry locally owned brands like VHI Fit, carry their protein powders in several different flavors. They also have pre-workout, branched chain amino acids, vegan protein powder as well. And if you have a sweet tooth like me, you gotta try this Omaha protein popcorn. The owners Jamie and Brent Stryker are absolute studs and are very knowledgeable with a background in bodybuilding. Jamie even reached pro status as an IFBB Pro Women's Physique competitor. Stop by Rexius Nutrition in Ralston on the corner of 84th and Q and receive 10% off when you tell them you're there on an official visit. All right, welcome ladies and gentlemen. My name is Oscar Galindo. I'm back with another episode of The Official Visit. This week I am coming to you with a star athlete out of the 8-man ranks. He's coming off a monster game where he scored in every which way possible. Plays nearly every position for Highline. We got senior and Air Force commit Ryker Evans. How's it going, man?
Pretty good.
Good, man. Good. Thanks for coming on. I'm glad to have you on. Get to talk to you a little bit and talk some ball.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, man, for sure. All right, so we're gonna get started with a couple pregame questions. First one I got for you is: do you have any pregame routine or maybe superstitions that you like to follow before every game?
Yeah. So ever since like last year, like when I started really taking over on our team as a captain, I always had my high pre-scrunched socks on, and so I've worn those every game since. And getting hyped with the boys always in the locker room. That's always the thing we do. Don't know what would the game on Friday kept getting pushed back because of the lightning.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like we would get hyped up and then get ready to go out and it would get pushed back. And so we'd have to go back in the locker room, restart the playlist and everything. So
restart the playlist from the top again. Man. So then, in that playlist, what's the one song if you have a go-to song that you know is gonna get all the boys hype? What song is that?
Probably Grinch by Trippie Redd or Love Sosa.
Okay, there you go. Nice, man. Yeah, there you go. So then, I touched on it during the intro. First game you scored every which way. Basically, you had passing touchdown, rushing touchdown. You didn't have a receiving one, but you had a punt return and then a interception return for a touchdown. So my question is, what is your favorite way to score a touchdown?
Definitely just burning people down the field. I like running the ball.
Okay.
Hopefully this week we get someone else at quarterback so I can get that receiving touchdown because, I can play any position. I really like being back for kickoff and punt, though, too. That's always fun for me because it's like I have so much field to run with, so just really opens it up.
Definitely. When you have your vision, your speed, dude, just probably feels so much just easy
Yeah,
for you out
definitely.
there. All right. So then, you have a very versatile skill set. So I usually ask for favorite player, but I'll ask what player do you try to emulate the most in your game, or do you try to like take bits and parts from different players?
Growing up, I've always been a Christian McCaffrey fan. I've
Okay.
watched him probably since fifth grade. So
Yeah.
I've always tried to model my game after what he did with all the cutting and all this. Like he played receiver right when he got
Mhm.
to Stanford first. So I mean, just knowing he has options like that, and I mean he is a very versatile running back. So I try to model my game after him.
Yeah, definitely. So then, were you a Panthers fan, or were you just or like a McCaffrey fan, or are you following the 49ers now, or how?
I'm a McCaffrey fan. Wherever he goes, I'm gonna watch it. So
All right, yeah, I feel that. So then, last pregame question here for you. And I know, you guys are kind of a little bit out there. I'm familiar with the area, but I know it is a little out there. But if you had to pick a go-to spot to grab a bite to eat, in that Eustis, Elmwood, J Lake area, what would that spot be?
so usually on Thursdays when we have our team meal, we'll go to Los Jalapenos in Lexington, and
Yes.
that place is the bomb. I love that
Oh,
place.
dude. Yeah, man. That's. I was gonna say. I know you guys are super close to Lex,
Hmm.
man. I know you have some Lex ties. I was hoping maybe you'd shout one of the taco places out. But yeah,
Oh yeah,
jalapenos for sure, dude.
it's it's good.
Yeah, my favorite so far for sure. Um. All right, so then for that was kind of it for the pregame questions. We'll kind of transition over here to a little bit about your game and your guys' season. You guys opened up the season with a huge win over Pleasanton, 54-18. I guess first off, I want to touch on that lightning delay, the weather delay. What was that like? I know you mentioned like getting hyped was like kind of um, tricky for you guys, but what else besides playing music, or what were you guys doing to kind of stay focused, stay ready in the game? Because I'm sure just even the fact that it was the first game of the season probably added even more
Yeah,
anxiousness to that.
definitely. There was tons of nerves in the locker room, and I mean, every time we got that, uh, every time our coach told us that, hey, we got to wait 30 more minutes, it just kept feeding to the fire. But yeah, we went into our gym because our locker room's connected to our gym. So we went in the gym, we stretched, we played catch. We all tried to stay warm and just keep our minds in football because
Yeah.
before we even got on the bus to head over to Eustis to get ready for our game,
Hmm.
we were told by our coach like, "Hey, our game might get moved to Saturday," and we're like, "No,
Yeah.
it's Friday night lights. We're gonna play under the lights on Friday, not Saturday in the noon."
Yeah. So then, how far back did you guys end up getting pushed back?
It wasn't too crazy. So like, we were supposed to start at 8, and I think we started around 8:39 ish. But
Okay, not
our
anything.
warm ups got pushed back. Like I think we only had a 30-minute warm up instead of an hour
Yeah,
warm up. So
yeah, I'm sure. Man, but hey, once you guys got kicked off, man, you guys provided, the lightning, man, or you did at least for sure. Let me read off the stats here. You had 82 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 130 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. On defensive side, you had 11 tackles, pick six, and just to round it off, you also had a punt return for touchdown. Kind of tell me about what you were feeling during that game, what you were seeing. Yeah, kind of just walk me through that.
we get out on the field on defense, and we get a good stop on defense, and then we get the ball back at punt. It wasn't punted directly to me, so I didn't get to return that one,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But then we're at like our 15-yard line, and we're trying to get the offense going, but it's just not working. Like it's a new Pleasanton coach, so we
Hmm.
didn't know what they were going to come out on defense, but our offensive plays just weren't working for us.
Yeah.
and then we end up punting it, and then we get another stop, and that's when I get my punt return, and then it just really sparked from there. It's like, hey, we're still a good team. Like, we were kind of nervous. Got a notification. We were kind of nervous. Like, hey, we lost a lot of seniors. We lost a lot of linemen. How are we going to do this season? But like after that, we're like, hey, we're still a top tier team, and so that really opened up our minds. And then we started getting a ton of interceptions and turnovers on down. So that really sparked it. And I mean, I wouldn't consider myself a passing quarterback,
Yeah.
but I got a few good receivers that are reliable, and I can just throw it down the field to them. And I kind of watched the Johnny Manziel documentary on Netflix the other day, and I'm like, hey, I could do some of that stuff. So
on the field stuff, right?
Yeah, on the field.
On the field. All right,
We're not talking about.
Just clarify.
Yeah.
Sorry, but yeah. So then Johnny Manziel kind of sparked that.
Yeah, I was like, I can scramble out of the pocket. I can do that a little bit.
Man, hey man, chalk one up for Johnny Football, man. What a legend. That's funny. But yeah. So then like you mentioned, that was kind of it was your punt return that kind of really sparked that off for you guys. Is that something that going into the season, like you mentioned, knowing that you lost so many seniors, is that something that you kind of told yourself like, hey, if we ever get in a position where we need something, I got to be that guy, or like what was your kind of mentality in terms of that leadership and being that spark for you guys?
Yeah, I've kind of been put in that situation since sophomore year. Like, if we need something done, if we need to flip the momentum, I put myself in that position to get it done, to flip the momentum and get our energy going back at the point that we can win the game.
Yeah.
So I've kind of been in that position ever since sophomore, junior year.
Definitely. So just nothing new, man. Just different year. Just got to make it, a play now, right? So, let me see here. So then, with that, on top of taking the scene, you're just filling in a bunch of roles, like you said. You filled in for quarterback. This week, hopefully you're back to some of your regular positions, for this coming game. But how do you like take on that role? How do you knowing every week it might be something different that you're doing, or might be a different responsibility. How do you take those challenges? And I guess how do you take on those challenges?
So last year, we were in summer camp at our football camps, and I had to play quarterback because our original quarterback got hurt at the camp, and so I stepped in, and I actually won camp MVP as quarterback, and so that's when my coach was like, "Hey, he can play quarterback too." So like, then I got put at starting quarterback for the year and learned all the plays, and I mean, it just stuck with me. I don't know. I can understand plays well, and I mean it translates over because like when you know the plays as a quarterback, you know what your receivers are supposed to be doing, and your tight ends and your running back. So when I get put at the receiver position, I'm like, I already know where I'm going to go, and when I get put at the running back position, I know where I'm going to go.
Yeah.
So
Sweet.
being quarterback helps know the plays inside and out.
Yeah. So then, when you're training in the off season, or just even during practice, or during the season, are those all things that you do try to keep up on and keep working on? Like, hey, I gotta maybe work on my passing a little bit more, or maybe I'm focusing more on my defensive skills. Are those different things you kind of also have to take into consideration?
Yes, definitely. I have a twin brother who I play football with all the time. He's been growing up with me playing football, and so like I threw a couple of routes to him and over the summer, and then he would throw a few routes to me. So we're working on quarterback and receiver at the same time.
Yeah.
And then I went to camp, and some camps I went in as a running back, and then some camps I went in as a receiver. Like it was all just how I was feeling. Like I'd talk to different coaches, and they'd be like, "Hey, yeah, we want to see you as a receiver," and then like, "Hey, we want to see you at the running back position." It's really just depends on the day.
Yeah, definitely. And that kind of helps me transition here to the next part, because coming, like you mentioned, camps and stuff like that, and talking to different coaches, being a player from Nebraska is, I feel like it's already kind of, how should I say it, a little bit of a stigma around that. But then, an 8-man player, talking on, D1 coaches and stuff like that. It's a little bit more like, oh, wow, like, okay, like a little eye-opening. Do you feel like maybe it was do you feel like your versatility? I'm sorry, I'm kind of butchering this question, but do you feel like maybe it was like your versatility that kind of helped you, build up that recruiting profile? I know you're also like big in track as well. Like you have, what was it, like a 4.4 some 40 time. What was it that kind of really, and then I get, also you had a great season last year, but what do you feel kind of really helped you break out into that, uh, you know, boost your recruiting profile, I guess I should say?
I would definitely say track. So like
Okay.
when I was running track during the spring, I was reaching out to coaches, and like before that during basketball season, I was reaching out to coaches, and I was just sending my huddle film, and they'd watch it, but they wouldn't really think much of it. And then track would come around, and then they see that, oh, he ran a 10.6 or a
Yeah.
10.7, and then it's like that really translates, because then they watch the film and they're like, okay, he's moving fast.
Mm-hmm.
And then I continue to talk to them, and like the speed really sparks interest with any coaches, because what I've been told, speed is really hard to teach. Like you can't
Yeah.
really teach, just like you can't teach size.
Yeah.
Like, so I would say my best aspect is my speed, which I've been trying to keep, and I've been trying to bulk a little bit so I can
Yeah.
fit in better with those Z1 prospects. But definitely my speed. And so when I went to those camps, like when I went to the Nebraska camp or the Iowa State camp, I really just tried to show them how fast I was, like
Yeah.
in the 40
Okay.
yard dash and stuff.
Sweet, man. That's awesome. So it seems like, the speed kind of opens up the door, the flashing numbers and all that, and then, once they see the film, it's like, all right, we could add the speed to a player that could, be a receiver, running back, all that kind of stuff, and it probably gets the wheels turning a little bit for most coaches. So, where do you kind of see yourself playing at the next level? Or, you're already committed to Air Force. Have you already talked to them about where they want you at specifically, or what kind of role they want you for?
So Air Force is looking at me at a what's it called? Slot receiver.
Okay.
So it's kind of a mix. What they've told me is kind of a mixture between a running back and a receiver. So like I can come on a jet sweep, or I can go out on a post.
Yeah.
And I think that's what most schools would look at me for. I know that some schools have been looking at me on the defensive side as like think like a cornerback, I think, or a slot safety,
Okay.
something like that,
Like a nickel
or like a
kind of.
nickel, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So kind of where they can get you out into space and kind of get you the
Yeah.
ball and let your speed flash. Yeah,
Yep.
for sure. So then, continuing on that, Air Force, that was, they were your first offer, correct?
Yep. They were my
Yep.
first offer.
First offer. So then, from there, you had other offers as well. Army followed, UNK, Peru State, offers from, from around the area, and really good offers as well. What eventually kind of led you to, deciding on, committing to Air Force?
So I took a visit down to Air Force on I think like June 8th. I think it was that weekend. And when I was down there, it just the hospitality was amazing. I mean, all the coaches knew who I was. They all talked to me like I remember my position coach. He came and sat down with me for a meal and just like talked to me about, hey, this is a great program even outside of football. Like you're gonna get the best education. You're gonna be financially set for the rest of your life. Um, and it's just real. He was just telling me all the benefits, and it opened my eyes to how good it could be, even
Yeah,
after football.
yeah. And I mean, you guys, yourself and then Air Force, like, hey, you're joining a pretty good class coming from Nebraska out there. Have you kind of dove into doing a little peer recruiting? I know there's a couple players out in that area that they're kind of on still on the lookout to commit and stuff like that. Have some Air Force offers. are you maybe doing a little bit of recruiting, a little getting in their ears, saying, "Hey, man, come check us out over here"?
Yeah, I've been talking to a few of them, like Jake Ryan and Harry Caskey from Oklahoma. Both of them I've played AAU ball with,
Mhm.
so I know them pretty well, and I know they got offers from there. So I mean, that would be awesome if they did commit. I've been talking to them a little bit, but it'd be
Yeah.
awesome to have some of my friends there with me.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, and either way, like I said, you already have a pretty good solid group of guys coming out here from
Yeah,
Nebraska. So hey, man, if you guys can add to it, that'd be great. But yeah, you guys are already pretty stacked. So what are some things you're looking forward to the most about getting out there? I know you still have a whole senior year to look forward to. But are there maybe some things you're looking at? It's in a beautiful area.
yeah.
So are there any stuff
Colorado
like that?
Springs is an awesome place. Like when I went out there, it was so beautiful. You got, I think it's like Eagles Peak, which is a great hiking spot right outside the Air Force campus.
Hmm.
So I'm excited about that. There's also tons of ski resorts there too, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the students in Colorado get a discount for the ski resorts. So like they can go
Ooh,
there,
okay.
they can get like a season pass for maybe $100. I think. I don't know. I've never been skiing, but it sounds like
Hey,
fun. Like
man, there
I'd
you
do it.
go.
Yeah,
Sounds like a hobby to pick up, man, in the off
yeah,
season for sure.
definitely.
Awesome, man. Hey, yeah, it's a really nice area out there. So I'm sure that you're probably excited to get out there, as soon as possible. So, um, kind of moving forward here, talking a little bit about the rest of your guys' season. Looking forward to Friday. You guys have number one team, our ranked number one team in class D2 or not D2, D1. Um, North Platte St. Pat's. They have some great players out there. They're a very talented team, but you guys are a really very talented team as well. Talk to me a little bit about that matchup. Kind of what are some things you feel like you guys need to do in order to ensure the win.
So North Platte St. Pat's, they're a great team. We played them last year, and I mean we stuck with them for the whole first half, but then it just slowly went downhill from there. Uh, what we need to do to basically keep with them and ensure that we're gonna pull off the win is we got to figure out our offense. We gotta get our line situated and get the timing down for all of our plays. But I think if we do that, we're gonna stick with them pretty good.
Awesome, man. Yeah, like I said, great team, but you guys are a great team as well. So, um, what do you feel like you guys need from you specifically in order to, like I said, make sure you guys are able to get that win?
Probably just leadership, honestly. Get that spark going again, like I did at Pleasanton, because I mean that flips everything. Once you prove that you can do it, then everyone else starts to believe it too. So
Yeah.
that's what we need.
So then, after this Friday, regardless win or loss, it's still a very much a long road to, hopefully getting out to Memorial Stadium and playing under those lights. What are some of the biggest things that you feel like as a team, uh, you're how should I say this? A strength that could get you guys there, and then one thing that you feel like if we can tweak this one thing, we're solid.
Tweak this one thing. I don't. I feel like it's the roles definitely. Like we got a lot of new kids coming up and filling positions from last year, but I feel like if we can have those guys step up and lead their role, like everyone played their role, then I
Hmm.
feel like we'll do great things, and definitely we could definitely make it to Memorial Stadium if everyone can fill those roles.
Yeah. The last thing I usually do on an episode is I turn the table over to my guest. Uh, you know, Kind of give you opportunity to shout those people out. Give those thanks to those people in your corner that have been in your corner, whether it be your parents, coaches, teammates, teachers, whoever it may be. Just those people that pushed you and helped you, kind of get to where you are.
I would like to thank my teammates. Definitely, they've been with me since probably second grade playing flag football. So I wouldn't be here without them. And my coaches too, like my high school coach now, Mr. Spiegel and Mr. Watovic and Mr. Schmidt. they've all been with me since like junior high days. So I would like to thank them for sure. And then behind the scenes, I would like to thank all my brothers and my parents, because I mean, I wouldn't be a prospect without my parents, because they've been taking me to all these camps. Like these camps are like 6 hours drive every time. So I would like to thank them for sure.
The float, I put pressure on their pencils. They look at my life and draw the stencil. One move I can rearrange it mental. I am so unstable. Look what I got into. They can't write my fable. I'm not who you used to. I didn't cut the cables and